Hello again, my friends. Lesson 2. We're cooking right along now. In this week's readings, we cover one of my very favorite communication topics, and that is the idea of the social construction of reality. The world is not the world. Well, it is, but the world as I experience it is not quite the same as how you experience it, because our perceptions are different. And then through our interactions together, we negotiate shared meaning and hopefully approach something of a shared perception of reality. Maybe. The other real bottom line in this section is the same theme that you face in all your library-related classes. There's a lot of information out there. That's why we're becoming librarians. There's a lot to pay attention to, and we can only capture so much of it. And we each interpret that information that we do select differently from others who might be consuming the same information, especially information about ourselves. We compare ourselves with other people, whether at home or in the workplace or wherever, and we talk to ourselves. We take what others say about us, and we can dismiss it or we can take it as constructive feedback and improve ourselves. Now, the topic of self-monitoring appears again. Isn't that funny? Didn't I tell you it was important? Don't we all know people who don't know quite how to self-monitor the way they talk or the way they sound, the way they come across? Often communication texts or communication guides will say that communication is just about what you say, and of course that is certainly important. But the ability to step back, to step outside of yourself, to step away from a situation, and just listen to the way you sound is even more important. That's self-monitoring. If you can go beyond that, and then through the magic of empathy, which is another one of our recurring themes in this class, get an idea of how the way you sound might come across to other people, then if you can do that, you've really got it made as a good communicator. Self-concept is another important idea that comes out in the readings this week. You can have a great self-concept. You can have a firm idea of who you are. You feel like this is how I communicate. I know how I am. But then you get dropped into another culture, whether it's another country or whether it's just a new organization, and you have to rustle up a whole new communication plan. You might see yourself as gregarious and outgoing, very positive things, very nice. But then all of a sudden you get dropped in Japan where other communication styles are more highly valued, and you might be seen as obnoxious or even intimidating. And you have to develop a whole new, through self-monitoring, you develop a whole new self-concept, a whole new strategy for communicating with other people. And this type of thing can apply to how you communicate with different areas or departments within an organization as well. Each department might need different styles, communication styles applied there. For example, in my life, faculty members, they speak a whole different language. So we have to approach them in just a little bit different way than we talk to others. And uncertainty reduction theory. Doesn't that sound powerful? When you're sitting around the dinner table and people say, so what are you studying in your graduate classes now? You can say uncertainty reduction theory, and it sounds pretty high-powered. Why am I communicating with you right now? Why am I making these videos? One of the main reasons is to help reduce your anxiety or reduce your uncertainty about what are the important parts of this chapter. What's important to me in this class? Why do you email me? Because you have some uncertainty, some question, which you want to reduce your uncertainty. Why do we talk to anybody? Because we want to know something. That's why people approach you at the reference desk. And don't you think it would be nice? What if we took down all of the reference desk or information desk or even the ask here, very trendy ask here signs, and replaced them with uncertainty reduction center? Oh yeah. Yeah, I like it. Think about it. Take that into your first job. Use that in your first interview, and if you get the job, you owe me 5%. So, finally, another bedrock skill, perception checking. I don't think anyone, not me, not anybody, uses this enough. Usually we take our own perceptions and we assume we're getting it right. And then we're making our decisions based on that. I assume I understand what you're saying, what you mean, maybe even what you're thinking. But just think how much smoother things would go in the workplace if instead of nursing a grudge or making assumptions and becoming bitter, we went to the person and said, I get the impression that you are upset with me. What's going on? Or something similar to that. That could really help. or it might just dissolve into an all-out brawl. But at least it will bring the issues to the surface so that you know where you stand and what's going on. Now, on the group side, now that you've identified your communication style, you're ready to interact with others, we read about how groups evolve and change and create their own realities. As you'll read in Chapter 2 of Myers and Anderson, there are many phases of the social relationships between group members. I always like the early phases of group work, where people are trying to get to know each other, they're on their best behavior, their personalities are just barely starting to come out. Some individuals try to take the lead, or sometimes they try to take control of the group's activities. Some members might feel isolated. Now, if we were able to socialize effectively, as they talk about in the textbook, we'd probably have better relationships, and the likelihood of working more efficiently together is exponentially increased. Well, that's about enough for me. Hope you enjoyed the readings. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Have a great week.